Let's talk plastic recycling, a clip from our recent Ask Me Anything event. So, Reagan, can you talk to us just a little bit about types of plastic and styrofoam?
Yes, there is so much to say about plastic. Just to start about just the types of plastic. So there's a lot of types of plastic. There's basically 7 types of plastic that we think about. So one is what we call a number one plastic, also known as PET. It's short for polyethylene terephthalate. And that is what you would think about as sort of your clear water bottle, plastic water bottle. And that has, there's good markets for recycling that material. The second type of plastic, we call it number two plastic, which is, we refer to as HDPE, that's high density polyethylene. And when we think about recycling markets, there's really 2 different versions of that. There is HDPE natural, which is basically has no color to it. So think about maybe a apple cider jug or a milk carton that isn't colored. And then we also have recycling markets for what we would call HDPE colored. So that's just sort of any number two plastic that has pigment in it. So for that, you might think of like a Tide laundry bottle, detergent bottle. And then we've got number 3 plastic, which is PVC or vinyl, polyvinyl chloride. That's not something we see commonly in residential recycling. So that's just not something we see a lot of coming through our facilities for residential recycling programs. But then you've got number 4, which is LDPE, that stands for low density polyethylene. And that's basically your stretchy plastic film. So we typically don't want to see that coming through recycling programs. That's actually a major bane of any single stream recycling programs, because that type of stretchy film plastic, like your bread bags or your Ziploc bags, it can really tangle up machinery. So the best thing to do with those is really to take it back to a retailer like a grocery store that accepts them. And then we've got number 5 plastic, polypropylene, and that is most commonly in plastic that's used in your yogurt containers. It's sort of a lighter weight plastic that is very common in that type of product. And then we've got number 6 plastic, which is our polystyrene. You also may know it as styrofoam. That is typically not accepted in either your curbside recycling programs or even your drop-off recycling programs. But what I can share is that actually the town of Guilford, New Hampshire, is working on a pilot project right now to accept styrofoam. And they have purchased a machine that is going to allow them to sort of melt and compact that material and then hopefully actually get it to a recycling market. But typically you're not going to see styrofoam being recyclable in your programs. And then the last one is number 7 plastic. And that is simply a catch-all. It is just talking about any old sort of mix of multiple plastics together, or maybe it's just sort of mystery plastic. But it just is sort of a catch-all. And so again, we don't see a lot of number 7 plastics coming through when we're talking about residential recycling.
Find out more and learn how you can recycle right on our website at nrrarecycles.org.